Thank y'all for listening to the Southern Style Podcast. We appreciate y'all being here. I'm Michael Lee.
And this is Rick Henderson.
Here the hell we go. There's a 98% chance we do not have it together. Kind of like tornadoes hitting trailer park. There's a 98% chance that's happening.
That's a Southern thing, guys.
The Southern is cornbread and biscuits.
Kyrgyzstan, like, the places that you kind of essentially...
Can you spell that?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think so.
Don't forget, we're from the South.
What?
cut off the chicken tongue.
Could you imagine walking in here and have a damn 8-foot chicken in the corner?
I was thinking about putting him in the front yard.
This train wreck of a saga.
Yes. Episode 2.
We survived 1.
We did it. We did the 1. Now we do the 2.
Well, it's I think from what I read, they say, magic numbers of podcast episodes is like 50 and 100. 50 lets you know you got some, 100 know you made it.
Yeah.
So we got a long ass way to go.
We do, but we have got an incredible topic today to talk to you guys about today.
When Rick, see, he's giddy. And I hate that word because it sounds like a 5-year-old girl at Christmas. He's giddy because we hit something coming up with this that he got all excited about. He's like over there like old Buck peeing in a scrape. He's just ready for action. Yes.
So today's topic is going to be festivals and flea markets here in the South, baby.
Well, the thing with it is, like, if anybody from the South, if you've got a stop sign and a post office and an optional red light, traffic light,
we about to incorporate this thing.
You're gonna have a festival of some kind.
Yeah, and the thing is with like small towns, and I'm from a small town, and Michael's essentially from a bigger town, but it's still a small town in this grand scheme of things. But in a small town, I've noticed how they will captivate on the one good thing that they got going on.
And I don't even know if it's a good thing. Like I mean, they're so just to name a few off the top of my head, in Georgia, in South Georgia. Like, I live over outside of Hayhira, so they have the Honeybee Festival.
Honeybee,
and it's
baby.
Big, and it's huge. Like,
yeah.
There's thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
And like, you can't just avoid this little bitty town at all costs on that Honeybee Festival, because you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Like, there's people everywhere, which is awesome for the community. It brings a bunch of money in and all that.
Boosts the economy.
But there's a Fire Ant Festival.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
There's Fire Ant Festival. Which is horrible. Like, why would you celebrate a fire ant? They're the most invasive nuisances in the South.
But that's another Southern thing.
A fire ant.
That's as Southern as a biscuit.
No, it's not. Biscuits you eat and they're awesome. Fire ants are little devil bugs that kill you. But then you got the Grit Festival.
Yeah, Grit.
You got Peanut Festival, of course.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a
where's the peach?
Middle Georgia, somewhere I think it's peach.
It's got to be a peach.
So and Valdosta's got the azalea.
The azalea, Festival. Yeah. We got the timberland here.
The who?
The timberland.
So the only dang thing y'all can do is grow pine trees.
Well, it used to be. Now the blueberry thing's kind of coming along.
Oh, is that what it is? So we have to change the festival here?
No, they still calling it the timberland, even though they've knocked a bunch of them down and started putting up blueberry bushes everywhere. But yeah, the timberland. Yeah, so we always these little southern towns. You know what? That's something, Jason, you could do some sorting out and seeing if you could think about or do some research on if that's a northern thing or not. That might be just as southern as biscuits too.
I think northern towns have festivals too. I mean, big cities, they have all the, politically correct festivals.
Right.
We're just going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, like, I think in the South, I love small town stuff. Like, I mean, I could care less about big cities. Now, Valdosta, which is the closest, quote, city, metropolitan area.
Yeah.
That means a population of 100,000 or more.
Or more, yeah.
So you can go there and have metropolitan status if you like. And I like Valdosta, don't get me wrong.
I love Valdosta.
We go everywhere, all over the place there. But there's something about when you ride through Lakeland, Hayhira, Homerville, whatever, that's just, Homerville has a 4-lane road that goes through it.
Finally.
Yeah. But my point with Hayhira does not, Lakeland does not. Like, just Cordele, where I'm from, you've got I-75, but then everything else is 2-lane, like just, a town. Yeah. But Something about just driving through these little small, what a lot of people call hole in the wall. It probably bores, you know, I won't say highfalutin city people to death. They probably hate that they have to slow down and go 45 through these little towns. But to me, that's so much history there.
Oh, yes.
You know, like you see these old buildings. It's kind of sad because, like, before the big interstates and everything came through, our little small towns were like booming little areas because that's where everybody around had to come to get.
You had to come through and experience it.
Exactly. And now that we've kind of lost our way, but I do see a little resurgence in that now. Like the modern times we're in now, like people are kind of investing back into the small town and coming up with like little better mom and pop stores. And there's some corporate stuff coming in there, but like, hey, Howard, you've got like Five Ashes Meat Market that's been there forever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still go in there and they'll hand cut you whatever steak you want. I mean, things like that. That's me. What I love about these little small towns that we travel through all over the country.
So do you think that these festivals, they're a way to keep that going, like a tradition through the small towns?
I think it's a tradition thing.
Yeah.
And in the South, it's tradition, period.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just like high school football down here.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's you breathe it.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
eat,
sure.
sleep, and breathe sports and things like that down here. And I'm not saying it's like not like that across the rest of the country, because, I mean, one of my other favorite states to be in is Texas. And Texas is that way. They have all, kind of smaller towns here and there that are really, really cool places to go and see. And I think the whole country's full of them. But obviously in the South, I think everything here, like even where I grew up was in Araby, Georgia, which has barely got a post office. They do have a Dollar General.
Yeah, well,
there's a Dollar General on your right. Is there one across the road right here?
Yeah, there's Dollar Generals everywhere. The Dollar General, they don't even know how many they have now. They've lost count.
And they're like every 2.5 miles down. There's a Dollar General.
We have one on each side of Homerville, and Homerville's probably 3,000-4,000 people in the city.
They
got two.
They tried to get one put in at right just like a mile from my house at 122 in Skipper Bridge. They tried to put one in right there, and the county people that live around there went and said no, we don't want that, and there's one 4 miles away.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. I don't know why they have to have so many.
Well, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Dollar General. I mean,
hey, is Dollar General a northern thing?
It's a freaking everywhere
worldwide.
Thing, yeah, it's everywhere.
Because you kind of think, I do. Maybe it's just because I'm from the South, but I feel like Dollar General is southern. I mean, did they originate here?
I honestly think Dollar General, their whole purpose was to be convenient for lower income people.
Lower income, yeah. Walmart.
But I'll tell you this right here, man. Like I said, we shop in Dollar General when we need to get necessity stuff for sure. Don't ever buy perishable foods at Dollar General.
Really?
You will be on the toilet all day.
They's highly processed for Dollar General?
No, I think it's just old stuff. I don't know. Dude, I ate something from there the other day. I thought I was going to die. Buy your cereal, your bread, your milk, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But don't buy like, I don't. Yeah, it's
ground beef.
It's like buying gas station sushi. Yeah, just don't do that. Especially
I did that once.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Some of those big fancy truck stops, they have like some decent looking food, and they entice you. Like, please get me.
Look, I want to see like the Japanese guy rolling the sushi up fresh. Like
you got to
like
see him
when you go to Publix.
Yeah.
They've got the guy back there.
Yeah.
Hey, I cook what you want. Sorry, but I roll for you. Not in that way, but whatever you want, they'll do it. And I've got to give Publix some credit. They probably do get fresher ingredients than truck stops.
Yeah, definitely. I love Publix sushi. It's really good.
But with all that being said, I don't know how we got down to the daggum sushi topic. That's what I do. That sounds good.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hungry. But anyway, small town stuff and the festivals. But I mean, it's a big deal. Like I think it's to keep traditions alive, but it's also who knows how much money comes into one of those small towns on that weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you have everybody that wants to come together locally, but what's cool about, especially in South Georgia, when you have the Honeybee Festival, you have Timberland, you got all these azaleas, you got all these different festivals, but you're not just conjuring up the locals. The cool thing about that is you're grabbing, the surrounding areas. People travel from all over Georgia, North Florida, whatnot, and come to these festivals. So yeah, it's a big economic boost, for that weekend or whatever it may be.
I'm actually looking up, like I'm trying to find a list of these festivals, but it's not okay.
Surely there's a list.
You got the Swanee Summer Porch Jam in Swanee, Georgia, which is up north of Atlanta. There's just random stuff. The Atlanta Summer Beer Fest. Now,
hey,
that's a big deal.
That sounds pretty
right.
Good.
That's in Atlanta, though. I'm not going. There's another beer festival. Peach Festival is in Luck and Moody Peach Festival in Barney, Georgia, which is right here.
Oh, yeah.
We need to go get some peach ice cream, by the way.
Yeah, we're definitely going to cover that.
Yeah, we need to do that. That would be.
Everybody needs to know about this.
Yeah. This is just in June. There's just tons of these things.
I bet there's people that follow those.
Probably just bounce around they're like festival gypsies.
Yeah, nomads, festival nomads. That actually would be fun, honestly. If you had nothing better to do.
I mean, yeah.
If we weren't doing body shop and TV shows.
There is the Watermelon Festival in Cordele.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I knew that was there.
I hadn't been there in 30 years.
So you're not participating in your local stuff?
No.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Let's
just go to Publix and buy a watermelon. I'm like, look, festival. Oh man, there's wine and jazz festivals up in Blue Ridge. There's a McDonough Caribbean Cultural Festival.
Caribbean culture.
They get to steel drums out and jerk some chickens.
Jamaican kind of stuff.
Sure, it says Caribbean. I don't know. I guess that's that.
Gotcha. Well, so
there's a lot of things I'm not going to say.
The whole festival thing, we're kind of covering that now, but the thing is about festivals, what about flea markets? I typically see flea markets being in more, like a grander city. You take Jacksonville has a really cool flea market, and I'm never going to make fun and poke on a flea market because I may not buy anything because I want to go to a flea market, but I want to go to a flea market. I want to walk around and see the just pure weirdness of what people are selling.
I haven't been to one in a long, long time, but some people I know, we go to them from time to time, and they're literally one person talked to me, said that they went and this guy just had socks,
a sock,
little booth full of freaking socks. 10 pairs for $2 kind of socks.
Honey, I'm running low on socks here. I'm going to run down to a flea market to the guy that has that booth, and I'm going to stock up.
You think about this, though, at every flea market, though, I've ever been to, there's always knives.
Yo, swords and knives.
Just, if you want to slice up your whole family tree.
That's the epitome of the flea market.
You can go to the flea market and buy
yes.
cutlery.
Yeah, cutlery. Okay. Yeah. You're getting people at the flea market and again, this is not me bashing the flea market, but people at the flea market may not know what cutlery is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They damn
knives and swords.
Big damn knives.
Yeah, big stuff.
Big old swords.
I remember the Rambo knife when you.
Oh yeah, I had plenty.
I had one. That's where I got it. Was at a flea.
Did you have the one that
market.
had the compass and all the stuff that screwed off the butt of it?
Yeah, you had matches and fish hooks.
You could live your whole life.
And you could just go, as a kid at a flea market, you can just go buy a knife full of matches and hooks.
Yeah, those were the times. Real men were born
all
then.
You kids nowadays, you missed out. I'm telling you right now. Now you got to be 18 and have driver's license or whatever to buy
parental guidance.
Yeah. Back then, the country and our parents trusted us not to do dumb shit.
You know what? And I feel like that stuff of we speak like that. Okay. Does that mean that the Southern tradition is leaving? If kids don't grow up like we did from the South, we grew up, and just did so many different things that, a kid from Atlanta, that leads me to another subject we'll get on in a minute, but kid from New York, he did not grow up like we did. He didn't run around barefooted in a creek that had gators and snakes in it.
Well, he didn't have gators and snakes. Well, they do have snakes, but they probably have gators.
They don't. Well, they don't have good snakes.
But when you say New York, you got to be careful. because New York State.
Oh, I love New York State.
There's a lot of rednecks in New York State. You're talking about like New York City.
NYC,
exactly.
yes.
Yes. There's probably not a lot of barefoot creeks that you, dear Lord, you don't want to go barefoot.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. But when you said, okay, you know, that kid can't go to the flea market now and buy a Bowie knife with, you know, a lifetime ration of matches, and you can go to Alaska right now as a 14-year-old kid and go live and survive. Like, you felt like a man. I got this knife and I can survive now. But you can't do that anymore. We live in a time now where is it a way to start relieving the whole Southern like country
I don't think it's a Southern thing. I just think it's the
protectional.
It's kind of like if you just watch social media nowadays, and I'm blaming it on parents. Not blaming you're a parent, I'm not, but I'm not blaming you because your kids probably know what to do and not to do with a knife or gun.
Yeah,
I'm blaming on the people that they haven't educated their kids. Like, hey, son, I'm going to give you this knife, and them understand the lineage. Like, this is your grandfather's knife, or even, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I have tons of those
things like that.
Yeah,
that. They can't trust their kid not to go slice up the dang cat that lives across the road.
Take it to the school.
I mean? Yeah, like walk in there and like do dumb crap.
What's happened?
We got lost on the way, man. Now kid can go to school and identify and say they're a cat or a dog
and get treated that way
and wear a collar, but responsible kids can't even have a pocket knife.
Man, I have a brother. I have one of my brothers. He lives in Orlando. He's got a handful of kids.
He identify with a dog?
No, he just definitely does not. Good. He still is from, you know, he's still country, you know. But anyways, he lives in Orlando, Florida, and he's got a bunch of kids, and he calls me repeatedly, like weekly, and tells me stories of what's going on down in the schools of these kids, you know with some of that crap that you talked about there. And I'm not here. We're not going to bash anybody. You can do what you want to do, but it's just a little odd to people from the South. You know, I don't want to ever bash anybody.
I think it's odd from people from everywhere. That really understand like the reality of life.
Exactly.
And I'm like I said, I'm not bashing anybody. If that's what you want to do it. But how are you preparing your kid, child, teenager, whatever, for the future if you're allowing them at a higher intellectual age other than a small child that's playing around?
Yeah,
you go to high school and you want to identify as a cat. Like, how are you preparing them for the future of the reality of the real world? And yes, I know the whole world's supposed to be more accepting but like, it's counterproductivity. You can't go to work one day and I'm a cat and you're building high-rise apartments.
Yeah, power company.
Like, I'm sorry. Like,
power company does not care. They want their money for their power bill.
That's right. They and the power company does. I'm sure they don't want to hire anybody that's going to walk in a cat costume. And I'm going to be a cat today when I answer the phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we have to stop this.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's not just us being from the South. No, that's a common sense freaking approach.
To each their own. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is let's be realistic to your own. You know. So maybe like you said, you debunked my idea of is that a Southern thing that you know Southerners are more harsh on people that are a little different, which I've never threw stones ever. I mean, don't get me wrong, we cut up. Yeah. You know, we cut up. Right. But I will never throw stones at nobody. No, I'm not, ever.
I'll put it this way. I'm never going to judge anybody because, you know, there's only one judger.
Exactly.
And that's the Almighty.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, I'm not going to judge you. I've made plenty of mistakes myself. So I don't want anybody to judge me. I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I can choose what I support, what I'm against, as an employer, who I'm going to hire based on their lifestyle.
You think that would be our...
And I know that's not right. You're not supposed to be able to judge on their lifestyle, but at the same time, I don't want somebody that's going to work for me. If I hire you to do a job, I don't care if you think you're a cat when you're at home. That's fine. But when you come to work, we're here to do a job.
Be professional.
We're here to make money because we have to keep the lights on and we have to keep the wheels turning. Right?
Exactly.
And as long as you're productive, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what race, sex, sexuality, what orientation, whatever you are, it doesn't matter to me. I like it. If you're a good person, that's all I care about.
Well, honestly, I feel like the word respect and what that entails. The word respect is big that a lot of people. So if you're from the South and you say, well, man, I wasn't raised that way, that's odd. But if you just still respect that person within reasonable, right. The whole cat thing. Now, come on. I mean, that's getting just ridiculous. There's got to be 99.8% of the world says, hey, that's kind of dumb. And like I say, I'm not throwing rocks at you, but it is kind of dumb in my opinion. I'm sorry. I'll respect you as a person, but it's still dumb.
You're not wrong.
I don't feel like I am.
And the thing with it, like we shouldn't. Don't hate what you don't agree with.
Exactly.
That's what it boils down to.
Thing.
It's like, I'm not going to hate you because you want to be a cat.
Yeah.
Like I might think that's weird, but deep down you might be a great person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Rick thinks he's a cat, but he's actually a cool dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that don't mean I'm going to join in and do the stuff with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I mean, okay, buddy, that's fine.
I mean, so those types of people that may be a little bit different. I mean, I might not agree with what they do, but I'm not throwing rocks at them. I still respect them. That's a lot of your individuals at the flea markets. And that's, I know I keep going. I love flea markets, man. There's
some different quote cats.
There's different cats. That's right. Yep. But I like to go there, and I'm not going to buy anything. Like I can almost guarantee you, I can bet money right now. I'm walking at the flea market.
Come on now, Rick.
And there ain't no sword.
Come on now, Rick.
There ain't no sword alive that's going to make me say, man, I got to have that sword right there. I'm not there for socks.
Come on. Come on now.
I mean, it would have to be something crazy. Maybe like some home. Sometimes you see them people, they make some little whatnot kind of things, like the chicken in the background. You guys probably can't see this chicken, but it's there's a chicken in the background. It actually come from
it's a drunk chicken.
Yeah, it's like a Mexican restaurant kind of chicken, but little stuff like that. Like if the guy was sitting there making that chicken right there now, and I don't know what it is about chickens. I mean, I don't have like some chicken fetish or nothing, but when I see a cool, metal, he's done forged this thing out, painted it. I mean, they're actually pretty cool, but I might buy something like that.
You made me think of something when you said something in that statement.
Oh God, his eyes are lit up. He's fixing to come in like a fireball.
No. You said like a Mexican restaurant chicken. Okay. Why every town, even small town like we're talking about that has all these festivals, they have a Mexican restaurant.
And
am I not right?
I love Mexican food,
but it's all the same.
Cherry's daughter.
No, bro.
Dakota. We can't go to any town without eating their Mexican restaurant.
All right. So go to South Texas.
Everywhere.
Go eat Mexican in South Texas.
Oh, it's different.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
We've Americanized.
Over here, I'm not saying it's not Mexican because there's Mexicans making the food.
Yeah.
But it's all the same. I can take you to every Mexican restaurant around here. For the most part, if you order like a burrito with beans and rice,
tastes exactly the same.
All going to be exactly the same. I think they buy everything from the same distributors.
Sure. Well, so you are very correct. And a lot of people, probably the most people in the world, is going to say, yeah, Michael's got a point right there. Every Mexican restaurant tastes the same. But now I have been to some that on just a scale of, I guess it would be maybe freshness or maybe just a little bit better of the way they cooked it. Or I don't know. Some of them are better, just quality wise.
I think it's
still tastes the same.
I think it's 100% what you order.
Oh yeah, if you don't know what you're doing.
My thing with it, like you when you sit down in a Mexican restaurant, most of the menus have 7 million items on them, right?
Yeah.
You got a number 1 through 99,993.
That's mostly your lunch.
Well, all of it. Even the dinner has it that way.
They have 1 through 10s and 20s and.
Yeah, they got. You have to take your shoes off and count, Rick.
Jason, take your shoes off.
But that's my point is, so if I'm going to order number 17 here. The 17 there, they're going to be pretty dang close.
You reckon they organize the numbers too?
There's a little Mexican mafia restaurant chain thing that they all probably are in cahoots.
The cartel has something to do with that.
Well, yeah, we're not good on that. We are not cartel mules, by the way. Let's clear that up. But if you dig into the menu and you order something with an actual Mexican name, not a number or a letter, you say, I want. I don't know all the stuff. Like I'm not a big Mexican.
Chimichangas.
No. I mean, like those. No, if you order something like tacos with steak, you're going to get a better quality of food.
Oh, if you break it down?
Yeah. If you order something that's not on the number letter menu, because the number and letter guys are back there like, oh, number 17. There it is.
Yeah.
It's all pre-made. Like, oh, here's a burrito. Here's throw the cheese on top of it.
He has done the 17 a million times.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an assembly line of numbers.
Okay, now this guy really knows what he wants. He wants this just like this without being on a number. Let me do a little bit better.
Pedro, we have a steak. We got a cookie steak back there.
A special. Special.
Cookie steak now. Hey. So that's my thing. It's like, and I'm sorry, we're not making fun of Mexican people at all because we love them. But the whole thing is like it's a different menu. So if you deep dive into this thing, and you just have to look on there, and if it costs more, it's probably going to be a little better.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully.
It should theoretically. Yeah. But my point is, if you go to McDonald's and order a number 1. You're probably getting a Big Mac and French fries, right? Yeah. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, order number 1, you're probably getting 2 tacos and some beans. Yeah. That's what you expect.
They have franchised without franchising.
And, well, there probably are franchises. But with all that being said,
by the cartel.
About the cartel. Bam, bam. But if you go to McDonald's and you say, hey, I want a number, whatever, but hey, I want you to hold the tomato, throw me an onion, half of mayonnaise, whatever. Now somebody's got to stop what they're doing from the assembly line and customize your order.
Do a little better.
It's going to be a little bit better.
Or they're pissed and they spit in it.
Now, I didn't say that. Rick did. So if somebody listening to this works at McDonald's and you see Rick spit in his food, not mine, because I didn't say that.
I'm going to cover this beard up. That's what makes them recognize me.
But I'll be honest with you, I do not eat at McDonald's anyway.
Yeah, I do not. So I never eat at McDonald's.
Sorry. Like, if y'all out there love it, that's great. But man, that thing.
You will never have to sponsor this podcast because we're not eating there. Sorry.
You make straight gut bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all that come from a chicken.
All that came from a chicken.
That one chicken. He's looking at us
but
too.
What came first, the chicken or the Mexican restaurant?
But like
small town life, man. That's what we're talking about.
And honestly, well, no, I can't say that because, you can go to a lot of Mexican restaurants in big cities also. But, there is always one good Mexican restaurant at almost every small city in America, I feel like.
I'm not going to say there's a good one, but there is one.
You're going to get the same food.
There's a Mexican restaurant, they're almost like Dollar Generals.
They definitely are. That's a good point. Sure.
I'm just we're having an awakening through these podcasts.
Yeah, we're learning stuff just like you guys are.
Like people that are listening are going, man,
he's got a point.
Man, I ain't thinking about there's a Mexican restaurant in every town I've been through.
I'm sure everybody's
Honey,
already
did you hear
aware
these
of that.
guys? These southern rednecks are right. Make me a biscuit sandwich.
Put that cane syrup on it, please. But I would buy that chicken. Going back to the original.
Rick, if anybody has any metal chickens, Rick's on the market.
Hey, one time, man. So I've got 3 kids, and one is the middle child, and it's a girl. Like I got a daughter that's in the middle, and she is just like, she is a pistol ball. Michael has seen it before. Me and her are more of like the wild ones, are just kind of out there a little bit more than just walking a straight line. Anyways, we walked into a Tractor Supply one time and we seen a chicken, and that thing was about 8 foot tall, and they're metaled up about like that one, real pretty, painted up and all. And my oldest daughter, she's way more responsible. She'll be 16 this year, and she had to talk me and Gabby out of buying that 8 foot metal chicken that we were going to put in the house because we just loved the chicken. So yeah, I take it back. I got a chicken fetish, I guess.
Jason, what?
Cut off the chicken talk.
Could you imagine walking you in here and have a damn 8 foot chicken in the corner?
I was thinking about putting him in the front yard.
It would make him good back.
Well, welcome to Southern style. Straight up. No, you don't go up north and see many 8 foot chickens in
here. We're relating everything
yard
that we
art.
do to
yard art. You can buy yard art at a flea market. big time.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm just
telling
saying,
you.
like, it's like you can literally go to a flea market. If you want something made of metal, if they don't have it, you could probably request it.
You know what? There is things at the flea market that, okay, this is a prime example. Go right now to Valdosta and go buy a big sword. Is there anywhere you could buy a big sword?
I've never researched big swords.
Well, I really think that, you know, the flea markets they've got these items that
They kind of got them on lockdown.
they got them on lockdown. You cannot go that I know of. You definitely can't go to Homerville and buy a big sword, but you can go to a flea market. I guarantee you there's going to be swords there.
If you went to Homerville and said, "Hey, y'all got any big swords
Big
in
sword?
here?" They're going to look at you like, "What?
What are you talking about?
Hey, y'all." Somebody called the police. This guy's looking for a big sword. I don't know what he's up to. He's at the Dollar General looking for a sword right now.
I bet that kid grew up with a Bowie knife.
I bet y'all, I bet he has killed some squirrels in his time.
Hey, but flea markets, man, they got it figured out. But that one thing I just really would like to know, Jason, if there's any way to know if flea markets are northern too. Do they
I think there are flea markets everywhere.
Yeah, I think they're everywhere.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you think in New York City they have a flea
I
market?
doubt if there's one at Times Square.
in Times Square,
But I
or
think you get to the redneck part of New York State, I believe there's probably some good flea markets.
so. Being
I'm
you
gonna look
said
that
that.
up while you talk.
So what I wonder a lot of times is all my travels of hunting and being all over the country and Canada and all over the world, like hunting, I've met people that I feel like, why ain't you Southern? Like, guys, you guys are.
They may ask us, well, why aren't you from wherever? I don't
Yeah.
know.
But it's so they are very relatable. The people that I engage with as far as in the hunting industry, no matter where they're at, they might talk a little different than we do, but they are essentially us. They're just as country.
Oh, dude, I found a whole article, by the way, of the
Of flea
15 best flea markets in New York State.
New York. Wow.
And there's one in Brooklyn. So I'm just saying, if anybody listens to this from wherever the heck you're at, go to a flea market, buy a sword.
They what?
Go to a flea market and buy a sword.
Oh.
Wherever you're from, just go buy
Go
one.
support your local flea market and buy a sword.
Or an 8-foot chicken, either one.
8-foot chickens.
One of those two.
And while you're there, go ahead and get a lifetime supply of socks.
I bet you can get some Fooey Loutons there.
Some Fluey batons.
Fooey Loutons.
Fluey batons.
Not no Louis Vuittons, some Fluey Loutons.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah. Michael Floors stuff, just good stuff like that.
And honestly, I mean, you nailed it. Like, now, I don't know why we haven't even brought that up yet, because you can buy some stuff that's really, really high end, but it's not the real thing.
It's not quite there.
Yeah, I've seen Rolexes. I've seen like people have
those are Joe Lexus.
Joe Lexus.
Yeah. They're different.
But that's the thing, man. South.
If you see a Rolex at a flea market for like $400, pick me one up.
Dude, okay. who is there really somebody that would do that?
Absolutely.
What in the
Dude,
world?
you just look online, you can get fake Rolexes everywhere for $400 or $500. You can get a fake Rolex.
But okay, maybe I can see it a little bit if you're online or you're at some, I don't know, other than a flea market though. Go to a flea market and buy a Rolex.
What have you ever not seen at a flea market?
That's a good one.
You can buy chickens, like real chickens.
Yeah, I've seen.
I've
seen
animals.
animals.
You can buy.
I bought a rabbit once.
He bought a flea market rabbit.
Rabbit, huh?
Flea market rabbit.
See?
Yeah.
His name was Limpy. He only had 3 legs, but he was a good rabbit. Lived a good life.
Man, that would be awesome to have like
we need to do a flea market video next.
Yeah.
We're going to a flea market.
Yeah, go to a flea market and say, okay, let me find out what
flea market finds is what it needs to be.
Yeah.
And we got to go to some festival now. Dude, Rick, we got a to-do list a mile long.
Yeah. I just I always just have associated flea market being Southern, just with me. But I'm wondering if we have that mentality where we're from the South, we feel like that's Southern. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people up, Montana and Canada and whatever. And I think, oh, y'all do that too? I thought that was just a Southern thing.
I think there's just like rural country things that we think are from the South.
They're really not.
They're
not
really
a Southern.
everybody that's like us that lives on a dirt road or out of a city does the same kind of stuff.
So my grandmother, she passed away several years ago. She was, full-blooded Italian, born in Italy. My mama was born in Venice. So, they kind of, especially my grandmother, growing up, before I was old enough to have a good conversation with my grandmother about, like, I guess grown up talk. But anyways, I always considered her being this city-fied, like real city-fied, fancy, wore a lot of jewelry, drove nice fancy car, lived in big, all just city-fied, And when I got older and I started making conversation with her, adult conversations, she grew up in a little old small town over there outside of Venice, and to hear her talk, which now times were, not as advanced then, but she was very country. I mean, they were country. They skinned a chicken. They did all the things that country people do here.
Like have some possum lasagna and stuff.
Oh, there was definitely some good eating. I promise you that. Definitely good pastas for sure.
No, possum.
Oh, no.
Possum lasagna.
Oh, I thought you said pasta. No. I don't know. I don't think Italy has possums. I think that's definitely a southern thing.
Next podcast is critters we have that you don't.
That is gonna be a good one. That do you see a lot of skunks in South?
No,
I don't.
There's some,
but there's some. Why do we have a few?
Like out Midwest, it's loaded.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. So
maybe,
why is that?
Maybe because we have stuff that eats them.
Well, I mean, they got coyotes.
But we got like rattlesnakes.
Snake? Do you think snakes catch?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
you
a
think,
good
you
one.
think that rattlesnake cares?
They have the rattlesnake roundup. That's
Wiggum.
Southern.
Yeah,
that's Southern.
They have what? They actually the largest in the country is in Texas.
What? I mean,
Texas is part of the South. They're like the Western South.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're extension of us.
If we need like Texas, I guess Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, and we'll claim some of Florida. Like we need to have a pact. Like.
Yeah,
if it goes down, like we all join up.
Hate to say it, it's like Osceola country.
Well, actually, we'll just go through the middle of the country up, and have the outliers of like the Northeast, some of the big city. No, I'm not even gonna say that. No, I'm not gonna segregate by states. I'm gonna segregate by cities.
Yeah, because I don't like when I go off to other places and they say, "Where are you from, Rick?" I'm from Georgia. Oh, you're from Atlanta. No, I'm not. Close, I'm not from Atlanta at all.
No,
I don't even like you saying that.
I'm offended now.
I'm very offended.
I am woke now, buddy.
Yeah. I am.
I'm Southern woke.
I'm almost as far from Atlanta as you possibly can get.
Yeah, I mean, 20 more miles we're from Florida.
Yeah,
that's pretty much right.
We listen to Georgia Florida line, not Florida Georgia line. I do like those guys. They're pretty cool. Anyways.
Yes, I digress.
So flea markets and
support your small town festivals.
Yes. I was trying to think what we were even
flea
talking
markets.
about.
You can take your leave flea market. That's up to you. I don't care.
I love the flea market. Honestly, I'm more of a fan of flea markets than I am the festivals. But I have not been to many of and I know that sounds bad, me supporting my local economies or whatever, but I don't go to a lot of those festivals. A lot of times they're during hunting seasons.
I don't go because I'm just not a super crowded guy. I don't like crowds that much.
Man, you should have seen me. You know how I pee. I pee a lot. You always get on to me, and I pee in the stand.
He's like taking a freaking dog for a walk down by mailboxes and fire hydrants.
We went to the Gulf Coast Jam down in Panama City a few weeks ago or last week. I don't even remember, but you sat in the middle of a field and you're surrounded.
Sounds so much fun.
Oh, you would have such a good time with all these people. But literally, like, don't drink anything. I dehydrated myself that day because it literally took like an hour to walk through, like stepping over people trying to get to the bathroom. You would have loved it. I literally thought about you. I said, Michael would love this. This is just
that sounds right up my alley, buddy.
Yeah, you would have had a ball. But anyways,
what music did you see? Who did you see?
I do like
who was there?
One headliner was Miranda Lambert one night. We didn't do all the nights. There wasn't like, I think it's like 4 nights or something. Cherry put all this stuff together, so obviously I'm just, doing as I'm told on this venture. But
I just want to know who was there, Rick.
Okay, Miranda Lambert was one night, and then Kenny Chesney was one night. Yeah. So, and then up under those, they do like, I wouldn't say that they're less famous or good or whatever,
they're
because
just not headlining.
They're just not headliners. But that one boy, Zimmerman, you like him?
He's all right,
dude. I like it. I like his song. I like his raspy voice. I like somebody with a raspy voice.
All of his songs sound just alike. But
done well, maybe so, but they all sound pretty good. Then
I hadn't seen him. I've seen Miranda in concert. I've seen Kenny Chesney in concert. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like with a lot of people, if they would come to my house and jam out in my backyard, then I would probably appreciate that a lot more.
It'd be a lot more fun.
Way more fun. And then I could go pee every 5 minutes,
Y'all keep singing Rick's over by a pine tree. It's fine.
Don't stop. I can hear you from here.
All right. Well, we've rambled long enough on this train wreck.
Yeah, complete train wreck. But
support your local economies through festivals and flea markets.
Yes. Flea markets.
And if you go to a Gulf Coast jam, take your piss bottle with you, I guess.
Yeah. You're going to pee a lot.
So.
Good deal.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. That's episode 2's in the books. Episode 3. Who knows?
Another crap show. We'll see you there.
Thanks. Thank y'all for listening. Please tune in to the rest of this train wreck of a saga.
Yes.
I roll for you. Not in that way.